Bring the heat.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juve Corner Cast. And man, of course, I wanted to rant a little bit more. It's the day after Juventus 2, Manchester City 5. So, I just wanted to rant. Of course, people make sure to like and subscribe. You already know. Share the content as always. Man, it's not acceptable, guys. I mean, with this Juventus, it's not acceptable. I can, listen. Props to I gave a lot of props to Manchester City. They have a great team. But with Juventus, the way that we did it, and I could just tell by the lineup. I go back and just check out the lineup, and I'm like, there's no way that Juventus actually put out a lineup like that. Like, how embarrassing is that? And it's just not good, in my opinion. It's not good for Juventus. It's not good for the club. It was just a bad showing, and we just basically proved it to the world. Now I go on, watch a couple of prediction videos, right, for a couple of other content creators, and they even say Juventus has no chance against Real Madrid, which is our next opponent now in the knockouts in the round of 16, which is crazy. Crazy. I mean, even people don't even see the lineup that we actually put out. It wasn't even really our first team. We left out all of our best players. Now that's not an excuse. Juventus losing the way that we did to Manchester City. That back line was just concerns for me from the beginning of this tournament as well. From the first game from Alain, as soon as I saw that back line, that was a red flag. When I went to the stadium in Philly, against Widad, the same backline. Every single time that Lloyd Kelly and not just that, but even the backline got on the ball, every time I was just so nervous because I knew that something bad was going to be, on there. Yeah. Yes, bro. Yeah, bro. No, bro, I need you, bro. Hey, my guy, brother. Big up to you, my guy. Yes. Let me know. Text me on Twitter, right? X, I think, if you want. Or we can exchange numbers, bro. Thank you, Anthony, bro. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. It really means a lot, bro, that you're taking your time and as an Inter fan, as a rival, to come on, bro, and to rant a little bit about this game, bro. I got you. I'll send the link right now, bro. I got you, brother. I'll send you the link. This will be the first time, too. And this will be the first time, brother. I'm happy. Let's go. I'm actually excited to have you on. And you're an Inter fan, but it is what it is. I like to, like I said, I like to do this. So this is nice. All right, I'll send it to you now. Give me a second. Let's see. Into worldwide. Big up touchline, bro. What's happening? Of course you're gonna rub it in, bro. It's your rivals though, too, man. It is what it is, bro. Come on, man. Come on, buddy. Gotta rub it in. What's going on, SSB? Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have a little guess. Pay the money for Sancho, bro. It's not. Listen, touchline. I don't think it's the. I think the clubs are okay. It's the salary, bro. The salary's the fucking problem with Sancho. You know what I'm saying? It's the salary, brother. But big up, bro. Big up, guys in the chat that are tuning in, and make sure to smash the likes and subscribe. Let's go. Okay. There we go. Yeah, I got you. I just sent it. Let me know if you got it, if it's good. Hey, what's going on, Zier? Just ranting, bro. Gonna have Anthony from Inter Worldwide joining me, bro. Yeah, exactly, bro. Touchline, bro. You have a lot of frauds in your team. I'm not, no offense to Man United, but you know what I'm talking about as players. I'm not happy at what Garnacho did. I don't know if you talked about that, bro. But Garnacho's a fraud, bro. You know what I'm saying? Forget about it. But big up to everybody every single time. Big up Josiah. What's going on? Sancho and David in now? 100%, brother. 100%. What more could we ask? I mean, listen, at the moment, we need defenders, bro. We need defenders. We need defenders, man. We need defenders, bro. Garnacho wearing Villa kit. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I wanted to know Touchline's thought about that because I'm not sure if he made a video. I haven't kept up with that, but I saw that and I was like, oh my gosh. What are you talking about? You Gakpa, bro. This guy, bro. Get out of here, Zier. He's staying, brother. He's one of our important players, bro. One of the most creative players on the team, bro. What do you mean he has to go? You absolute fraud. You absolute fraud. This guy, bro. He's staying with us, buddy. He's staying with us. All right. There's my guy, Anthony. Hold on, Anthony. There we go. What's happening, bro?
What's up, man? Let me just make sure that I can fit your screen as well as possible. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. Yep.
All right. As long as the quality's okay for your show, man, that's all that I'm concerned about. So
that's all fine, bro. That's all fine.
No, that's not going to work. Hold on. Give me 1 sec, bro. I want to. You know what? We might just go vertical today if that's all right.
Yeah, it's all good, man. All good. All good. What's happening, man? First time on the channel. Welcome, man. It's been a long
time. Yeah. It's been a long time coming, bro. I saw you doing a live. My wife said she'll need 20 minutes to get ready. So I've probably got an hour and 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Wink, wink. But no, all good, bro. So yeah, it's good to see you, man. And congratulations on the very steady growth of your channel. Good stuff.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much, man. It's like I said, make sure Zier, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Go subscribe to, of course, my guy Into Worldwide. Oh man. There we go. Big up Perfect. Oh, big up AK as well. Yeah, man. I'm just going through the pain like you guys did during that final. I mean, obviously yours was a lot worse because it was a final, but in terms of that, we kind of got it to it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I look at our lineup, Anthony, man, and I'm like, holy crap. I even knew when I did the watch along, I was like, this is the most, I think this was probably one of the worst Juventus lineup I've ever seen. And like the whole, like I would say in the years I've been watching Juve, and it's a shame. It really is a shame. I mean, from my perspective, obviously for you, it's a joy, but
after you lose a Champions League final, there is very little joy that you can take in the suffering of others, because I'm just one of those people. I can't take the joy in the suffering of others after that. It's going to take an eternity to get over that final. But you're right to be concerned, because that final was the closing chapter of our cycle. It ended in the worst way possible, but it was the closing page of our book. You guys, unfortunately, are starting your fairy tale with a black first page. You got a new manager who shipped 5 goals in. Yes, it's a preseason tournament, but it's an official calendar tournament. That's what it is. This is not a charity tournament. This is not a charity case of a tournament, no matter how much we want it to be. If the prize money was 40 to 50% less, none of us would care. But we all committed to this tournament the day we were invited to this tournament. So it doesn't make sense sitting here now and calling it a waste of a tournament when we all know Inter's bagged 30 million, Juve's bagged 28.5. We both needed to be here. And we both need to be in the round of 16, and we both need to be in the quarterfinals. That's the reality of it. No fans should be sitting here trying to play the ego game against each other. Inter fans versus Juve fans, who's coming off worst, who's coming off best. Start Zito and start cleaning up your fucking bedrooms, guys, because we could be in for a rough ride this season. Both of us.
Both of us. Yeah. No, I like even I was like contemplating, Anthony. I was like just like analyzing everything of what I saw from that City game, and I was like, man, if half the squad is that, what if injuries happen from all those like 6 star players that I did on my rant before on one of the videos? And I said, what if those guys get injured like what happened with Bremer? We're screwed. We are screwed. Because half those guys, we let in 5 goals to City. Imagine what Serie A, and we all know how Serie A is, because I would say even the smaller teams. Juventus has been struggling with the smaller teams for a few years now. And this is why we're not in that competitive stage of like where Inter was, right? Where Napoli is now, which Napoli is looking even scarier since keeping Conte, and now getting KDB and possibly more signings that I'm hearing. Lang, they might get Nunes, which would be
Antonio Conte. The reason Antonio Conte stayed is because he's been made guarantees at Napoli that he would not have even gotten to scratch the surface of at Juve. Yep. We knew he was coming to you guys, and what that final meeting or phone call that went with you guys and him must have left him in a state of, damn, they want me back to rescue the sinking ship, but they're not going to reinforce the stature of the boat.
Exactly.
Antonio Conte is not a loser because he never puts himself in a position to be judged as a loser. So he's done the data analysis and gone, I stand a higher chance of succeeding at Napoli than I do at Juve, and that is the all-governing law and body to Antonio Conte going forward.
Yeah, no, exactly. And not just that, but look at our management. We don't even have a sporting director.
And this is the thing, right? And this is the thing, and I'm glad you're talking about it, because going into next season, there are a few sides in Serie A that are not even a few, like majority of us are drastically unstable, whether it's Inter transitioning out of the Inzaghi era into Kivu, whether it's you guys on, let's face it, this will be your 6th year zero in as many years. Every season for you guys is a new blank canvas. I don't think there has been one season that you have played the continuity card. You could argue that you tried to play it under Allegri version 2, but that's simply not true, in my opinion. So 6 year zeros for you guys, and I would argue that you are in a worse position at the start of this season than you were the previous 2, because at least in the previous 2 years ago, you had the first season of Giuntoli, all vibes, You've got a director that just won the Scudetto. Let's give him a year zero and be patient. Then last season, we cannot ignore the background noise. Remember, best mercato in the last 12 years, dropping big dimes on players that were meant to be guarantees. And now, because of these decisions, you will not be able to drop 70 million on another Kurt Miners. You will not be able to drop 55 on another Douglas Luiz. I mean, for God's sake, when I saw that headline a few days ago, Wayat Mbangula for 23 mil, I didn't read the headline properly. I'm like, which one of those motherfuckers is worth 23 million? Bullshit. And then I clicked open the article. I'm like, 23 for both. No, that's not good because these two players get minutes. It would be different if these two players had a combined 300 minutes of football, but that's not the case. Mbangula had roles. Timothy Weah had roles. So you are now in the position where you're looking to sell assets for borderline scraps to fund better scraps. I think that Juventus will still make some decent signings, but you're just so far off having a market that's going to propel you to challenging for the league. And before anyone gets on my case, you don't need to hear me talk bad about Inter on this channel. You can subscribe to Inter Worldwide and hear me go for the gauntlet every single day. We're not in a good state. I will argue that we are drastically improving our financial state because you cannot sink worse than our financial state.
Yeah.
But other than that, we're both in for a season where it's just going to be point and laugh at the other person. And if that's what makes fans sleep better at night, that's fine. But that's not how I sleep at night. No way.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I 100% agree with you. I mean, I remember you mentioned this on your channel about Inter, about that, I remember about Conte, that people were doubting that Conte would win the Scudetto with this Napoli. I said, I was like, it's Conte, man. The guy knows how to win no matter what. And he knows how to do it in the Serie A, man. He did it with Inter. He did it with Juve. I mean, it's crazy to say that a lot of the fans forgot how good Conte is. And, look at him now, you know. But the thing is with, with Inter as well, I mean, we all know probably what happened. It was mentally as well from that Scudetto as well.
Yeah.
When you guys lost on the last day, I mean, I would hate for any team to lose. Even my, if it was Juve losing on the last day, that's like a
It helps when you're not. It helps when you're not first. There's a big difference between losing it on the last day as the chaser and losing it on the last day, like that very famous day 23 years ago. Like nobody really expected to come away with the Scudetto on match day 38. Our last chance for that was match day 36 and 37 when Napoli dropped points to Genoa and Parma. The news that's come out, knowing that Inzaghi was starting to make it known that he was leaving in that month, rubs me every step of the wrong way. These are the sort of things that if you ever bump into him in public, you don't shake his hand. You look at him and you go, fuck you for what you did, honestly, man. Yeah. But he's not an Interista. Everyone wants to believe that their manager has an attachment to their club the same way the fans do. Very rarely does that happen. I mean, Antonio Conte has been shunned from you guys 3 times now. He will come back for round 4. I don't believe any of the Juve fans that say, oh, that's the last burnt bridge with Conte. Mate, the last burnt bridge with Conte is when he says it's the last burnt bridge. So do not be surprised if in 2-3 years' time, the state of your club looks better and he comes back. Big up your chat. It's a very, very nice chat. Very respectful. I love it as well. I see Reno in there somewhere. Time for us to link up again soon, Reno. It's been a while. Good to see you. But yeah, in terms of next season, man, it's going to be rough for both of us. I really can't tell at this point who will have a better season between us and you. That's a discussion for at the end of the market. I would say that Inter are slightly ahead only because we actually have the plan on paper that you don't. It's a messed up plan that we've had to throw away. But one thing that Marotta does better than anybody in the country, he is pure damage control. He is pure damage control right to the T. There is not a disaster or a catastrophe that will sway this guy off his left or right foot. So I'm a firm believer that Fabregas was the first choice, but I'm also a firm believer that Marotta knew we weren't going to get him, which is why the negotiation with him didn't go past the phone call. It was like, this is what we can give you. However, we are very well aware of what's going on 50 minutes up the road. Can you dog that project for us? And Fabregas probably went, look, man, I'd love to coach Inter. There's no secret that he likes Inter. He's been photographed in an Inter jacket before. His wife likes Milan as well. But in this situation here, why would you take the current most high pressure job in the country versus the lowest pressure job in the country? Como is the best destination for him at the moment. They will have more to spend in this market probably than you and I combined. So big up to Cesc. But the way that we were able to get Kivu, and see, the thing is, when you go and get Kivu, you need to get Kivu and run with the Kivu way that will do things. Not even the way that Kivu says will happen. If you're going to get a player who has coached youth, developed youth, won titles with youth, then just go down this direction. Pros and cons to this. Cons, inexperienced players, inexperienced signings. Pros to this, drastically reduced average age of the squad, drastically reduced wage list, and Inter will have the one luxury that Juventus did not have when Beppe Marotta left. Beppe Marotta will literally not have a chance to leave the club with inflated wages on players that are old. We will not have the Pjanićes, the Khediras. We won't have these left. Trust me, if Marotta could have his way, we wouldn't be keeping Pio Esposito. If Marotta had his way, we wouldn't be getting Boni, and we probably wouldn't be rumoured for Leone. We'd be back in for the next old-ass looking Arnautovic, and that's the way the cycle would continue to go.
Yeah.
For the first time in his professional career, Beppe Marotta has some plastic handcuffs on, and it is going to benefit us in the long run. What it will probably not do is get us a Scudetto this season, or maybe the season after. But in 2027, when Beppe Marotta needs to step away from Inter and move into a senior role, whether it's at the FIGC or somewhere else, we won't have to clean up a lot of the mess that he usually leaves behind. So there is a massive light at the end of the tunnel for Inter. I just urge the fans now to be patient. A top 4 finish with a title flirt and a title run would be a great first season for Christian Kivu. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. And, I think that Inter's definitely going to be up there. I mean, listen, it depends on, who, what's going to happen, right? Because now Milan just got Allegri. Now that whole thing is going to flare up one game a week, this and that. They're getting players, So now that whole Scudetto race is going to be going crazy. But at the moment, it's Napoli is the only team that's really convinced me that they're going to go for, back-to-back. Will that happen? We'll find out. But, with Juventus, I don't even think that we're going to qualify. I don't think that we're going to qualify for Champions League at the moment, Anthony. I don't even think we're going to qualify.
Dude, ADL doesn't even need to dip into his savings or his reserves. Yeah. He hoarded the Kvaratskhelia money. He will bank on Osimhen. And then before you know it, by sheer default, there's 120 to 130 M's that Conte gets right off the bat. I have absolutely no doubt De Laurentiis will slap another 50 on top. Antonio Conte is going to get his war chest. And on top of that, they didn't go to this Club World Cup. They will be fresher and well-trained. And people are saying, but you know what's going to happen now? Antonio Conte has Europe. Bro, when has that ever stopped that guy from just throwing Europe in the bin? Yeah. De Laurentiis is one of the last pure owners left in the country. He's now the most successful owner in the country because it's his club. He is Italian, and no matter what way you want to look at it, if it's your club and you're Italian, especially in the city of Naples, we all know De Laurentiis' goals. He is not going to aspire for the Champions League the same way a greedy club like Juventus or a greedy club like Inter does. When there is even a sniff that he can lock down the Scudetto, he and Conte will make a mutual agreement, win number 5, and then fuck it, win number 6.
Oh, man.
The way that Napoli are going to treat their shot at dominance will be very different to the way Inter did. My biggest regret of the last 5 years, it's nice to get the second star. It's even nicer when you do it against Milan in their home ground. So a big shout out to the Milan fans who try to come to us. We've still got the last laugh over you. And we will until you get that second star on the chest. You might think that you could come out with us with a 5-0 final, blah, blah, blah. In what? A season where you didn't even make the original knockouts. Milan fans need to realize that a lot of their victories were in vain this season. You will not be able to replicate what we did in your ground to get that second star. But moving away from that, Napoli will see their chance at dominance as a rare opportunity to stamp themselves in Italy. Everything else does not matter. I wish Inter did that for number 21. I have said this to all Inter fans. That 5-0 loss in the final would feel like a speck of dust on my shoulder if I had number 21 sitting next to me. But I've also said at the end of the day, that's where different fans have different opinions. Gio, you are Italian. I am Italian. And I'm not even saying this as a rude thing. I'm not even trying to separate based on discrimination. I'm here to say that I grew up in a world and in a family where winning the Scudetto came first. It's a shame that in 2025, even under a regime being governed by Italians like Marotta Ausilio and a vice president that captained us to a Scudetto, it's a shame that we did not treat the league title the way that we should have, because Inter still threw this title away.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's not even the first time that you guys did it. You guys did it even in when you guys lost the Scudetto with Milan. You know, it's the same. It's the same thing. But that's also I blame that more on Inzaghi. You know, that's what I think.
Yes, yeah, you can definitely, and this is where it's very interesting in our fans, because you've still got a lot of people that will blame Inzaghi for bombing those, and to be honest, I do to an extent. But you also need to look at the investment over the last 5 years, which has been nothing. Absolutely nothing. Inter has been bantered by Juve fans a lot for their debt. It's privately owned debt. So unlucky for the fans that keep saying that, you know, we've broken rules, we should be punished, blah, blah, blah. What we do doesn't seem fair, but it's not illegal. At the end of the day, if I owe $500,000 on my mortgage tomorrow, I don't need to sell my couch and I don't need to sell my TV. I can still sit there and watch that TV while I owe money on my privately owned mortgage. The real punishment came from things like selling Hakimi and Lukaku and getting Edin Dzeko. And this isn't a stab at Dzeko. I love Edin Dzeko. He's one of my favorite players. And if, in fact, you know, what if he was to come back to us this season instead of Fiorentina? I'd welcome him. But on paper, that's the form of punishment. Sell these assets to balance the books. You can't buy anybody else. I don't think anybody, even Inter fans, expected Inzaghi to do what he did with us. Because when you still look back at the reign, yeah, he's bombed a couple of Scudettos, but we were also meant to go to the abyss after Antonio Conte. We were meant to be back in a banter era. Our banter era post-Antonio Conte consisted of the second star, 2 Coppa Italia, 3 Supercoppa, and 2 Champions League finals, which generated over $300 million and subsided a lot of the debt that we had.
Yeah.
The debt got to as high as 850 million euros at one point, 900. Wow. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Yeah, no, it's
now it's sitting at a very unhealthy 450. But the fact of the matter is that 450 now sits at a lower interest rate with Oaktree, and at least the 450 that we owe is being managed by the owners. We don't have debt that are stretching in different directions. At least it's consolidated to our own owners that are like, all right, we'll take care of you now, you poor bastardi. That's all it is.
Listen, I mean, I'm still waiting for, you know, Mr. Elkan at Juve to do something, you know. I mean, he's not this, like I said, I think in terms of, for example, you know, for Juventus as a club, we're not ambitious as we once were. And you could tell that because if we were ambitious, we'd be making moves. And not just that, but we don't have that pull anymore. And Anthony, I brought this. It was me and Dom. He's a Napoli fan. I think you know him.
I know Dom. He's a quality guy, man. Very good dude.
Yeah. So we did the Tutti Calcio. We were talking off camera about, you know, Juventus, right? And about with this whole management. We don't have that pull anymore like we once had when we signed, for example, Ronaldo back in the day. But now, in terms of like who to get, there's a guy that's open to be president, or I think maybe to take over the reins of Alcon, and that's Agnelli. I want to know what your thoughts is about Agnelli returning. Do you think it would be a good idea for you to get Agnelli, or do you think it could be a bad, you know, and even for Calcio too? Do you think it's going to be good for Calcio in terms of the future of Serie A? Because, you know, Serie A has been dumpster fire. You know, it's a mess.
You guys need pure Juve DNA today more than you've ever needed it before, which is why you're trying different measures to bring it back. The first measure is Antonio Conte, because that's the quickest injection. It's like a steroid, basically.
Correct. Yeah.
The second choice was to bring Igor Tudor, because at least you can bring some of that. You can at least get some of these players to elevate themselves slightly based on passione. However, modern day athletes are fucking disgraceful when it comes to respecting their clubs and respecting where they are. And I don't need to tell you this, man, because I see it all over your clubs, like your fans and their Twitter feeds. You guys are finished with majority of your squad. You're that pissed off, and I would be too. Weston McKennie can't be running around like he's carrying a McChicken burger in his guts all the time, man.
Exactly.
It's actually ridiculous. And
So
I'm not saying about your player, but dude, go on my channel. I've called Lautaro fat about 8 times in the last 8 months. Guy is carrying extra weight. They're unfit.
Yeah,
they're unfit players.
Yeah.
You guys, you need your DNA back. But the thing is, bringing back Agnelli, like the way he exited the club, it's very hard to just bring him back just for vibes and just for nostalgic reasons. Not only that, the Agnelli-Conte relationship will never be repaired.
Never.
So if you want to bring Agnelli back to the club, you basically say we're closing the door to Antonio Conte ever coming back to taking the squad and the players back to where they need to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good decision. I'm very against going back to the past in any sense.
Yeah.
Any sense. I don't like it whatsoever. But if Elkan's not going to at least show a little bit of enthusiasm towards your club, because I think that's where the big difference is at the moment. It's not a monetary difference, not at all. No. Elkan's always got money up the culo. He doesn't support. He's not a Juve fan. Not the same Andrea was. I mean, he's the cousin, but he's not a part of that same fathered line that grew up in that same living room, in that same couch, owning the club, loving the club. Elkan has his investments, he has his interests elsewhere, and it's sad because it looks like he's at the point where he's happy to finish top 4 and turn over a slight profit every year. It's a very Arsenal way of doing things. Yeah. And you guys, even though I don't like saying this, you deserve better. The fans deserve better, which is why it's very important for your fan base to keep setting high standards.
Oh, 100%.
Keep setting high standards. Keep the pressure on, because if you don't, if you sink into that gap, you will fall into the Inter 2012 to 2018 gap. And if you fall into that gap, which is where it looks like you're in at the moment, it's a hard road out. Hoyson out for 15 mil for Lloyd Kelly is a fucking disaster, bro. Man. One of the worst deals I've seen in a long time. Yep. I get that you guys have a system that others don't. You have this very awesome advantage where you can build up your youth, build up your under 23s, sell them for decent money and reinvest it. But the problem is, in my opinion, you're selling the wrong ones, first of all. Right, you're selling Hoyson, you're selling Soule. Rovella, Fagioli, and Moretti are all out, all gone. Now, for me, maybe one of those 3 were going to crack the big time, big enough for you. But at the end of the day, you didn't give them the chance, and you've replaced them with borderline bums. At least the players like Rovella, Fagioli, Moretti, they would have identified with what's on the front. And this is where Inter got slightly lucky under the Inzaghi regime. At the very least, we had a group of players that knew what this meant. Lautaro, given the armband, being an Argentine, having that connection with Milito and Zanetti, good choice. Barella, born into a Cagliari family as an Inter fan. Federico Di Marco, born into an Inter family as an Inter fan. Alessandro Bastoni, born into an Inter family as an Inter fan. This helps a lot. It helps a lot. I don't know where you guys come back from this, because I'm going to ask you the question, who is going to lead your DNA forward? And if you tell me it's Manuel Locatelli, I will bury my head in my hands.
No. Locatelli, for me, I mean, listen, we saw, like, he was even starting for the game, I think, yesterday. It's just a disaster on all 4 fronts, you know, and I get it. And a lot of Juve fans are going to feel like, okay, but it's not too much to worry about because of the starting lineup. No, it's a lot to worry about because it's half the team. If it was a couple players, okay, but it's half the team. Like that whole squad, that's 11 players. I think the only person I could probably say that wasn't like bad, Di Gregorio, and that's a goalkeeper.
He's a good player, but at the end of the day, if you're having discussions about your goalkeeper being the best player or the only player, you know, you're just reminding me of Manchester United for 4 years straight when they gave David De Gea Player of the Season.
There you go.
The problem to your question is within the answer.
Yep. Yeah, no, and this is where I criticize even the Juve board, the Juve management. I mean, like, we've got to make some moves. Supposedly, Jonathan David is supposedly close. Not sure how true that is, because
Can I ask you a
fan base has been
question?
crazy.
Do,
Yeah,
do,
go ahead.
do you find it a little bit weird how this Jonathan David guy has been the most sought after free agent for about 3 years before he even became a free agent? Like, this is one of the weirdest stories in football.
Yeah.
Because he was playing for such a mid club like Lille, as soon as he burst on the scene, people started saying 2.5 years ago, oh, yeah, he'll be a good free agent. Not a single attempt for Lille to re sign him, not a single attempt, meaning that his agent is a C word. And we use that word a lot in Australia, but I'm not going to use it on your channel because I know it's a bit offensive going elsewhere. That means his agent is a proper C word because there's been no talk of a renewal for Lille to sell for a profit.
Yeah.
Barcelona tiptoed around it, pulled out. Real Madrid didn't even go for it. Why has Paris Saint-Germain not gone in? This is a bread and butter deal for Paris. You might as well package him up and send him to Paris. That's how easy it is. Bayern Munich haven't put in an invested interest. Juve say they are interested, but are scared to go forward. Inter, interested, scared to go forward. This could be one of the biggest pump and dump players in the modern era. I have never seen a player become a free agent before they've become a free agent, and to drag this out like you are the second coming of like the best free agent signing of all time.
Oh,
His wage is stupidly high for a player that's only played for Lille. His agent is behaving like he's hoarding the next best thing, and I can see exactly why Juve are cautious. I can see why Inter don't want a bar of it, and I can see why any other player don't want to go for it, because this is a player that's going to start with this much hype without proving it yet. I think he's a good player. I don't think his agent or himself have done himself any favors whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, even with Sancho, the links with Sancho. I mean, like, and I know you're a United fan as well. I mean, it's for Juve, we just can't. Us Italian teams, we cannot. And even Napoli is not even going forward with it, and they just won the Scudetto.
You know why, man? Because our clubs cannot afford a bad attitude. We cannot afford an attitude problem right now. We've got enough problems going on at my club. We've got enough problems going on at your club. We can't deal with an attitude problem with a high wage. And if you're telling me it's 25 million for Sancho, how can you justify 8 million for Mbangula if you're going to drop 25 million on Sancho? And I know that Jadon Sancho has more pedigree than an Mbangula or a Timothy Weah, but he's failed at Chelsea. He failed at United. Yeah, it's all well and good you go back to Borussia Dortmund where you don't need to, you literally adhere to that sort of level. But now you're telling me he's going to play for Juve in a cagier league with defenders on his ass. Jadon Sancho is not built for the Italian game. I don't think he is. And I think he's a collateral waste of money.
Yeah, well, man, I'm telling you, there's a, I was actually saying at I think it was last night for Tutto Calcio, I was like, we don't even know if Sancho is going to be that player to really revive himself in the Serie A. Would he be, a good signing for Juve at the moment? Listen, we're not making no moves at the moment. And right now, Juve is hesitating in the market, so we don't even know at this point.
It doesn't help that the market is drastically flawed in terms of what's going on, because if you've got Gyökeres, for example, the pool of strikers that fetch that much money is very, very small, which is why Sporting Lisbon are really holding out for an offer that I don't think they're going to get. I don't think they're going to get 80, 85 for him. So they really need to weigh up their options. Like, if Juve is prepared to drop 55, 60, entertain it today before you lose out. If Arsenal's ready to entertain 55, 60, for God's sake, you're Sporting Lisbon. You've already got a really good academy. Take the 60 million and run.
Yeah, man. And even with Arsenal, right? They're having problems. Like, they don't even they don't even know what the hell they want. They're going for Sesko, and then in 1 minute it's back to Gyökeres. And I heard about United with that they're interested in Gyökeres again, right? Supposedly.
Manchester United's interested in everybody every day, bro. It's a mess. Bro, I just want to give you a heads up. I've got about 7 or 8 minutes left until I have to leave. So if you got any questions, whatever you want to talk about, lay it on me now.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely have to talk about, I would say in terms of, for next season in Serie A. I mean, it looks like that Napoli could go back to back. At the same time, what is the stake of our clubs for our future? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you guys are, I would say, you guys have a little bit more because you still have Marotta. Marotta, I think, will be key for you guys, going forward.
Of course.
But, with Juve, we don't got anybody. Comoli, unknown. And so far, it hasn't been really looking good. It's like a Juntli 2.0.
Well, attitude reflects leadership, doesn't it? And if in a bad attitude in a squad, it's easy to see that the fish rots from the head, and that's an old school saying, and it applies in a lot of different industries. For Inter, we have a slight luxury of knowing that you don't need to replace as many chess pieces as, say, you need to do. I would say Juventus almost requires open heart surgery, their squad. Yeah. So does Milan, in a sense. With Inter, we know for a fact that, okay, goalkeeper position is fine. Denzel Dumfries is fine. Bastoni is fine. Benji Pavard is fine. Barella is fine. Lautaro is fine. Thuram is fine. Federico Di Marco and Carlos Augusto are fine. So by default there, yes, you need to reinvest the squad to keep all these players on their toes. But if we are going to invest them in some smart young players, like keep Peel, that's a no-brainer to me. That's just biochemistry for me. I have never agreed with the whole loan out young, inexperienced players for a 32, 33-year-old. I'm about to turn 33 in a week. I feel like shit. I'm not an elite athlete, but you're going to tell me, and excuse my, my vulgar language once again, but Pio Esposito, how old is he? 18? Mate, that testosterone is pumping through that kid. He probably wants everything that's moving. Let the kid run. Let the kid score goals. You don't bring in a 32 to 33 washed up striker and put the club on their shoulders and go, we really need you to do something this season. No. Keep Pio, and then all of a sudden, you've got Lautaro, you've got Thuram, you've got Pio. You're a 20 million Bonnie signing away from almost completing an attack. Will it be the greatest attack that Italy has ever seen? Hell no. But guys, Joaquin Correa, Marco Arnautovic, Mehdi Taremi, they did nothing all season. All season. So if we go down this younger direction, I mean, everybody wants Leone. Whoever gets him is very lucky. Maybe we've got a slight leg up because we've got Christian Kiewel. And in my opinion, we will make a major sale. A major sale is probably going to look like Hakan out for 30 mil to Galatasaray, which I might be one of the more unpopular Inter fans, but my God, please take it. Please take it, man, because I like Hakan, don't get me wrong, but you got him for $0. So 30 million of green book value for a 31-year-old is incredible. Yeah, incredible. Not to mention, I have an exercise science background. Do not put the same niggling muscular injuries on the table for me. If your rectus femoris is going to blow out 2 times a season at the age of 31, well, guess what? You are one muscular injury away from a 30 million book value going down to a 12.5 million book value on the day that you turn 32. The margins, the lines are blurred paper thin when it comes to cashing in on an aging asset in this industry. Take the Hakan money and run. Absolutely run. Who we replace him with could be a problem. I don't think Rovella is a player that we should be looking for to replace him. I'll take him and give him a shot. I don't think he'd measure up. Aslani's had 3 seasons at Inter, hasn't proven himself slightly, and it's not like he's one of those players where you go, well, has he had a chance to get played into form? Fuck yeah, he has. He has had way more opportunities and way more minutes than we ever thought he would get, and he still hasn't lived up to it. So I hope that Ricci is not going to Milan, because I'd love a last-ditch attempt to him, but it does look like he is going to Milan. So I'm not too sure where we're going to find the Hakan replacement. I am still just very much in camp. Sell Hakan Çalhanoğlu, please.
I mean, listen, even with Milan, like they're signing players when they're not even in Champions League. You know what I'm saying? They're making moves. And the fact that Juve is not making moves, right? I mean, Inter's making decent, right? They're making decent moves.
Inter's having discussions. The thing is, we're both at a disadvantage because we have this bullshit Club World Cup thing going on. But see, that's the slight difference is Inter got Kiewel, and now we have the plan on paper, meaning we can work in the background while the Club World Cup is happening. It goes back to what you were saying before. Marotta versus, what's his name? See, there you go. Komali?
Yeah. Komali, yeah.
That's the difference right there. Beppe Marotta knows, okay, this simultaneous tournament going on cannot prevent this work going on in the background. Your owners are literally looking at the blank canvas going, okay, what do we do first? What do we focus on? Do we wait for the end of the World Cup? Do we not? I mean, you were very late to confirm Igor Tudor permanently. If I were you guys, even if I didn't plan on having him next season, you just offer him the contract after Venezia, because that instills pride. It instills grinta. It gives Tudor the keys to the city and the confidence for the keys to the city. You gave him the key to the city with Antonio Conte's sweat glands on it.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Not a huge problem, but an issue. You know what I mean?
No, it's definitely an issue, but I feel like even with there's a lot of things about like with the City game, right, that we witnessed yesterday, right? With that whole lineup, could this be Tudor, basically telling the ownership and the management, look how shit this team is? You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like unbelievable, and for Tudor to do that, it has to be a reason. There's no way that he rotated the whole damn squad and not put at least. You know what I'm saying?
I feel for him, bro. Your main protagonist hates the club, hates playing for the club, hates his teammates, yells at them, misses opportunities. We're all talking about everyone's favorite Serbian Ronaldo here. Like, I don't think I've ever seen an attacker disrespect your club the way this guy is, man. It's actually insulting, bro. And mark my words, he will run down that contract and leave for free. He is that sort of person. That's an $85 million. That's an $80 million investment down the drain.
Yeah, no, exactly, and not just that, but even with his wage, 12 million, and he wants more.
Man.
He wants more.
There's an element of the game where you can't argue, like, if you're going to throw a dog a bone, don't try and pull it back from him when he's still hungry. But at the same time, you have to be at least a little bit more respectful to the club that I hate more than anything in the world. Even I'm looking at that going, you can't treat Juventus like that. You're not supposed to treat Juventus like that. So who is to blame, Gio? Dusan for doing what he's doing, or the club for allowing this sort of culture to seep in? I mean, it's all well and good as a Man United fan to hate Paul Pogba, to hate Anthony Martial, to hate Eric Bailly, but at the same time, these are some of the people in the world that came from poverty, that came from nothing, and a club was stupid enough to do what they did with those players. And then what, you're surprised when they're not turning in world-class performances? You're surprised when you keep extending their contracts and not lowering their wages? You want to be treated like a big club. You need to behave like a big club, unfortunately. And if I was Juve, then I'm sure they're regretting not putting him on the market properly a season ago, because you had the opportunity to take a small loss in terms of what you'd get for him. Not really a loss on the books, because you guys haven't really extended his contract over the years, which meaning you could have sold him for anywhere over 25, 30 and still broken even based on the years left on his contract and the residual way it goes down. But now you've gotten yourself in a position where, it's a pure 100% loss, because when there were clubs interested in him, like Bayern, like Arsenal, like United, like Paris, you said, no, we are not going to even look at your offer of 20, 25, 30. He is worth 50. And then 6 months later, you said we will listen to 40. And now you're in a position where you're going to have to listen to 15 to 20 very soon. Yeah. It will come down to January, whether or not. See, the thing is, between now and January is critical for Dusan Vlahovic and Juve. If you're Tudor, you almost want to play him every game and try and play him into form, so that there is still a 25 million euro offer waiting for you in January. That's where it caps. After January, it's free. It's free. So the line between January and the end of the next Mercato is 20 million or 25 million or zero.
And that's going to hurt the club massively, I'm telling you, if we don't get nothing out of the Vlahovic. And this is what, and not just that, but when I heard the rumors and reports, and it's probably true, because of his ego's sake, it's shameful. It's a shame. Yep. It's a shame that we actually have a striker that plays for Juventus, a club like Juve, that has an ego like that,
It happens, bro. It happens to a lot of clubs, you're not the only one. Romelu Lukaku is a mercenary. Mauro Icardi listened to his puta one too many times. And then before you know it, these clubs who have, signed for the club, played for the club, have even, told the fans that they plan to be the image of the club's resurgence. They go back on their word pretty quickly, because they are not uno di noi. They are not one of us at the end of the day. Bro, this was a really, really good chat. We have to do this again soon. I don't want people to watch this video and just go, here's another Inter fan bashing Juve, because trust me, if you guys want to follow me on Inter Worldwide, you will hear it as straight as it can possibly be, man. So keep an eye out on my channel if you want to. There's some content coming over the weekend.
Yeah, no, Anthony, bro, we definitely have to do a show together, man. We should do like a show, so do something like a day. Let me know. We'll do a show together, bro, because it'd definitely be entertaining, man, for sure, bro.
Will do, man. Keep it up. Your channel's fantastic. Thank you to a very respectful chat as well. And yeah, I'll catch up with you soon, bro.
Yes, brother. See you soon, Anthony.
Ciao, ciao.
Well, guys, that was a great talk. Listen, he's an Inter fan, but he's a respectful Inter fan. And that's what I like. I like, those Inter fans that do that. Thank you so much, Anthony, for actually popping on. Thank you so much, brother. And guys, make sure to go follow Into Worldwide. I believe Zir or somebody posted the link before. No, I'm not ending the stream. Don't worry, guys. I'm not ending the stream. There's more that we need to rant about this City game, and also a little bit. I'm going to talk a little bit about the Madrid, but I'm not ending the stream as of yet. So make sure to hit the likes, guys. What are we doing with the likes? Because I'm not paying attention right now with the likes. So make sure to smash the likes. Of course, ask me questions about the Juventus because I am going to be checking the news here and there and looking at a couple of stuff. So let me see. Yeah. If mods, if you're there, make sure to post. Make sure to post Interworldwide's link. My guy Anthony, make sure to do that. But he was speaking facts. Facts. This is exactly what I've been saying about the Juventus management, the Juventus board. The same thing that happens with in terms of a lot of the Italian clubs. And Inter and Juve are basically in the same boat of not competing next season. We don't know. We'll see. But this is exactly what exactly, Adam. Exactly. Oh, I will. Listen, AK, I mean, I have mixed emotions because it was not our strongest team. But there's no excuse. We are Juventus. There's no excuse, and it's not acceptable. You don't lose 5-2 like that. You don't lose like that. I don't care. I don't care what starting 11 is out there. You play with Grinta. You play for the badge. You play with heart. Imagine, guys, if I went to the game, I would be fuming. I'm telling you right now. I probably would have broken something if I went to that game. Good thing I didn't, because I'm telling you, it would have been bad. We might come back for Cambiaso. Is he any good? Big up Nordic, bro. I'm guessing you're a City fan. He is good. Cambiaso is a good player. But the thing is, he hasn't really shown his from last season in the beginning, I'm going to say from the beginning of the season to at least February. And then that's when he got injured. That's where we haven't really seen that Cambiaso really come back. But, he's coming back. He's coming back in terms of that. But into form. But I think he's a great player. I think he's gonna stay at Juve though, bro. I'm not kidding. I think he will stay at Juve. It depends. You guys are gonna have to pump out the cash if you guys are gonna do that. Because I don't see Juve really slipping up this time. I mean, listen, we'll see, bro. We'll see. If it's like a 60 million, 70 million, I think we might take it. But at the moment, it is what it is. Yeah, no, that's definitely a big problem, AK. We don't have the players that play for the badge, and that's what sucks in this modern age. You know what I mean? If it was me on the pitch, I'll be giving my for the gaffer, I'll be giving my 100%, 110% all the time. Juventus, like it's my childhood club. Like I would do anything for the club. That's what the players are missing. Some of the players, not all of them, some of them. 100%. I think that, of course. Well, I think we should still use, I think, some of our ideology. But the thing is, the money. There's a big money problem in Italy, guys. We are struggling with the money part. It's all out there, and not just that, but Juventus doesn't have that pull anymore in that transfer market. After after last season's transfer market, it ain't gonna happen again. We're not gonna make 70 million signings. We're not gonna make 60 million signings. I'll answer this in a few. I'll answer this question in a few. Good question, Warthog. Keep going with the questions, guys. Put all the questions that you have about Juve, but let me know. Cash, no problem. Name your price. Listen, 70 million, bro. At least 70 to 80. That's my range, bro. If I was in the management, 70 to 80. Of course, we're gonna be realistic with it. Juve need cash, bro. Juve need cash. We can't even get Sancho. I get it because of his stupid wages, but still, Big up Juju. Big up Juju. Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. Pick up to Joya 10 Edit says, I think the transfers we should make is Zucker's, Dybala, Leone, Ricci, and Lorenzo Luca. Well, the thing is, Ricci, we're not getting him. So scratch that one out. I get it. But Lorenzo Luca, no. Most likely he's going to be going to Napoli. It's more like that. Gyökeres, too complicated. He prefers Arsenal, so that's kind of not realistic. Dybala, though, if he lowers his salary, that could be an option. But I think he has a release clause from July 1st to I believe to the to the 10th or the 15th of July. So listen, it's only a 12 million release clause. I mean, if I was Juve, we need quality. We don't have quality. Tell me other. I think the only player I would say was Yildiz is one of our most, I think, creative players on the team, and that says a lot. It's a winger, not a midfielder. With Dybala adds that creative spark in the team, but the thing is, he's injury prone, and his wages are high at the moment. So, 100%. Nico, Coop, Dusan, and Kelly. Those four gotta go. They need to go, man. They really need to go. And tell me if Otto always had, bro. I mean, except for Juventus, right? When we were dominating, we had loads of money. But then, okay, so this is where Juventus is struggling financially. When we made the signing for Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, one of our guys, Pepe Marotta, which was our CEO at the time, he left, right? Joined our rivals Inter, which now he's still at Inter. That's what Anthony was talking about, right? Pepe Marotta. Right? Then we had Paratici, which is supposedly, I think, what or was the sporting director of Tottenham as of recent. But we had him, and he destroyed everything. And then COVID hit on top of that. Imagine having CR7 playing in empty stadiums, and you're not Juve is barely making profit. You know what I'm saying? No. Well, for some Italian clubs, yes. But we were okay. Juve financially was okay from 2012 and onward. From 2012 and onward, we were fine. When we won the Scudetto and onward. Sorry, that was my mic. Sorry if you guys heard a loud bang. I'm not sure if it registered, but yeah, sorry. I just hit this. I didn't mean to do that. We don't seem to be paying big money for players this window, hence us walking away from Wirtz, so he will probably stay at Juve. Yeah, I think that's more of a... Yeah, I think that's more logical. I get it, bro. I mean, listen, I think City's work is smart, though, bro. You guys got Cherky. Cherky's unbelievable. And then Ainori's a phenomenal player. You know? Unbelievable. You know? We'll see, man. They haven't made an offer for, obviously they haven't made any offer yet, but the thing is, like I said, we need ambition in this club. We don't have any ambition at the moment. We have some good players, but half of them, you know what I mean? I would say basically the whole starting 11 except for our goalkeeper, all of them, they got to get the hell out of my club. That whole starting 11 except for the goalkeeper. So 10 players. That's 10 players, bro. That's half the team. They gotta leave. We had, and just like Anthony Interworldwide just said before, we have McKennie make burgers on the field. Looks overweight. It is what it is. Not really. Bro. Okay, so think of it like this, Adam. The team wins a Scudetto, right? For example, Napoli won the Scudetto, right? In the Premier League. You get promoted from the second division, you make 300 million. If you win the Serie A, how much do you think that is? It's less than that. Less than 300 million for just getting promoted to the Prem from the second division, from the championship. See what I'm saying? In terms of the money. And at the moment, the only the only investors I would say for Saudi and Qatar, right, is Como. We're talking about Como, man. Como. Milan. What are they doing? Juve. What are we doing? Inter. Now it's like they can't spend really anything. Napoli are the only team at the moment that has the money. They are kind of like the guys that are in pole position to dominate for maybe 2 years, for another 2 years. Do I think that Juve will be back soon? 100%. Juve has always come down from our lowest peaks. Serie B, 2006, scandal. We were relegated. 6 years it took. 2011, 2012, we won the Scudetto again. And then domination for 9 years in a row, so about a decade. So, but it's not just that. I mean, guys, about Italian football, it's also the stadiums. Juve is the only stadium that has really the private grounds. Roma, the capital of Rome, right? Supposed to be getting a new stadium. That's what they're saying. But as I'm saying, all of a sudden, it's like now they're getting new stadiums. Juve got opened their stadium in 2011. The new stadium. We were making moves in terms of that. Inter, Milan, they're sharing a stadium. But if you think about it, it's also the FIGC's fault. It's not just the TV rights as well. It's also the attraction from the league. The attraction from the league will get the clubs even more money to produce more stuff. Then you could do all these other things. Why do you think that Juve has been trying to collab with all these content creators? Get all these people the village events here in the United States? Because we don't have anything. We don't have that exposure like the Premier League does. The only teams I would say outside really would be Bayern Munich, PSG now, Real Madrid, because they've won 15 Champions Leagues. They're one of the most historic winning clubs in the world, and Barcelona. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem not just for the clubs, but for Serie A. No wonder why that a lot of people were, supporting Serie A teams. But if you're going to say that you support one team and then all of a sudden now you're neutral, and it's like a flip-flop version. But yeah, Juju, I agree with this. We don't have the attracting paying TV rights, which is a big problem for us in Italy, and that's the thing. We don't have that exposure, and that's what's the problem. That's why so many people say that, oh, the Premier League is the best league in the world. We have to remember, Serie A was the best league in the world during what, 2007, 2006. From then down, even in the 90s and the 80s, Serie A. It was Serie A. Spain, generally right now they are the king of the miniature. That's what I'm saying though. I still watch Serie A because of the way you guys play football. Listen, Serie A is entertaining. It's not going to be entertaining. Listen, I think we have been one of the most entertaining leagues in the past couple years. We have. We've had the most competitive title races in the Serie A. People will talk about, oh, it's quality wise. Give the league more money, just like the Premier League. I'm telling you right now, bro. We probably would have saw a lot more Serie A clubs win the Champions League. The fact that even Anthony even said with his debt, the fact that Inter got to 2 Champions League finals with the team that they had and the players that they had was crazy. It's crazy. Let me go back to the question here. 4 realistic signings. I'll read the next question, Warthog. Make sure to put any questions that you guys have for me. For realistic dream signings for Juve this summer. This is a hard one because it's like, who do we get? Right? Well, obviously, for defender wise, Leone. We need a couple of defenders, bro. Leone would be my first. Listen, I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I think Araujo fits Serie A from Barca. But the only thing I'd see from Araujo, right, would be if you would take a massive pay cut, and then also for, I believe Barcelona to lower their price, which supposedly I think 30 million, I think, or what was it? I think it was 30 million. If they do that, then I would take Araujo. Why not? In Serie A, hell yeah. Defense is king in Serie A. We all know this. In terms of quality, we need a striker. We need a striker, guys. And at the moment, the only realistic signing I see is, of course, keeping Colomani and also getting Jonathan David. You have to bank on Jonathan David at this point. Because listen, I in my opinion, I think that Jonathan David would do 10 times better than Dusan Vlahovic. 100%. And that's why I think that if Juve do get Jonathan David, maybe something good can happen for Juve. But at the same time, it's a bargain. It really is. We don't know. It's 50-50, man. Because every single signing that I think we have made, except for a couple, but maybe like Thuram, Cabal, that's it. Those are really the only guys I could really say that, play well. That's it. This year, Spanish football and internationally didn't win anything this year, but they still play better than the Italian. Yeah, that's true. And also, Warthog, I would want a quality midfielder. The thing is who to get, right? We don't know. But definitely try to get a quality midfielder. Most likely, I probably would get the one from Bruges. I forgot what his name was. De Kreuner, I think his name is. Something like KDB, but he's a Belgian player, but he's from Bruges. Good player. That's a player I probably would want. Spanish football internationally didn't win anything this year, but they still play better than the Italian. Yes, they do. At the moment, they do. They do. They do. Another reason now is KDB is playing there now. Yeah, that's true. Question, Gio. How much money would Milan want for Leao if he was to join Bayern? Oh, a lot. You're talking about 80 million, 90 million, maybe 100. And also Leao's good. If he's going to go to Bayern, he's probably going to ask for a big high salary. He's definitely going to ask for a high salary. No doubt, bro. No doubt with the high salary, bro. Let me see here. I believe his release clause, I think, was like what? One something? Let me see. Yeah, like around 100 million, most likely. So Bayern, we're gonna have to pay that much. I mean, listen, they could be lucky to get 75, right? If Bayern would be lucky if they would get him for 75, but at the same time, Leao for me is not worth it, in my opinion. I would not go for Leao, but who knows? I could be wrong, and he could do well for you guys, but I don't see it at the moment. Santiago Jimenez also at the Gold Cup with Mexico, despite being born in Argentina. I don't know if he's going to stay. He will stay, I think, at AC Milan. He will stay. Because otherwise they would have been looking for another striker, which at the moment they're not looking for really any strikers. They're actually, I think they're going to really keep Santiago Jimenez. Yeah, I believe they will. Guys, smash the likes if you haven't. $12 likes. And also share the content, guys. We are at 7 viewers. Yeah. We were at 20 before. What's going on? Share the content, boys and girls. But yeah, Jonathan David, it's like I said, it's complicated is with the agent fees, right? We'll see. Supposedly he's getting closer and closer, so he's most likely going to be a Juve player soon. We're in more advanced stages with Jonathan David than with Sancho. So Sancho is like further away now because of his wages. Yeah, that's also Christian Pulisic's team. Yeah. 2023, 24. Leao was Vinicius Jr. level. I rate him more than Williams, Sparkle personally. Leao plus Davies pace overlapping that would be crazy. That's true. Listen, Leao on his day, he's incredible. He's incredible. On his day, he's actually really, really, really good player. But the thing is, his ability to track back, his work ethic, it's just not there at the moment. And Milan, even the Milan fans are complaining because of his work ethic. Now, if he changes his mentality and thinks that he's not the next Ronaldinho, I think that would be a thing. But because, listen, a lot of these players have these egos now. We have to say these players are not going to be loyal to a lot of the teams, unless you're like a Del Piero. You know what I mean? As soon as the players see the money, they leave. They run. They run for it. That's it. Yes, I probably will be doing that. I might want to do that. Scout Jonathan David. I might be doing a monitoring watch along. Maybe we'll do that. We'll do that together, guys. If you're up for it, I definitely want to see Jonathan David for sure. Heard he missed a penalty the other day. I think he's a good player, but the thing is, will he fit Serie A? There's more expectations now. In my opinion, I think so, but we'll see. Because I mean, listen, you can't be doing worse than Vlahovic, man. That happens, I'm gonna freak out. It's gonna be bad. They can be in the United States in semifinals on Wednesday, and they have Costa Rica. Yeah, exactly. It was the same problem with Robin Ribéry, but they accepted Mia San Mia mentality. It's risky, but hopefully Company wouldn't make him. That's the thing with Company, though, man. Is he really the right manager to really manage egos like that? To manage players like, Leao? Bro, Leao's ego was crazy. I'm telling you, he thinks that he's the next Ronaldinho, bro. The way that he is, he really thinks to himself that he's the next Ronaldinho or something. Of course, it's risky, but I get it. I mean, let's see if Leao changes the way that he approaches things and plays. I think, and not just that, but in order for Leao to really perform, he needs confidence, right? So I think at Bayern, maybe he could excel, and maybe he could excel better at it, in the Bundesliga, and be better for Bayern in the Champions League. Other than you had Sane. I mean, listen, I think he's an upgrade a little bit more to Sane. Sane is way worse than him. Gnabry, forget about it. The weekend. Forget about it. USA and Canada taking the rivalry from hockey to football. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's true. Rafa, you saw the game against Spain, right? Where they won the Nations League and yeah. Exactly. That's the thing. That's my concerns for Leao, though. But it is what it is. It is what it is, guys. Guys, any last questions? And then I'm going to wrap it up. It's been an hour and 14. Had around up to 20 viewers, I think it was. Nice to have Anthony from Interworldwide on. I want to see if we can redirect to anybody. Let's see. Anybody I know? Oh, we could redirect to Reno. Redirect to Reno. Even Kalulu has better finishing than Sane, my G. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously. Had to rub it in. Leo would have cooked those 1v1. Yeah, it is what it is. We're doing a preview with Will. Oh, I don't know yet. He hasn't reached out. But we'll see. I'm gonna be doing something with Matrix on his channel for the Football Matrix. Great guy. But we'll see. Oh, big up, bro. What's going on, man? Cry? I'm not crying. I mean, if I was crying, I wouldn't be doing a stream. But obviously, in terms of Juve, I expect better from the coach to start the full 11. If it was a different starting 11, then that's when I can really judge more on the team. But we'll see, because in my opinion, that backline was still horrendous either way. Our backline is shit. But at the same time, City did verse our B team. I'm being honest here. All of our star players were on the bench. Literally all of them. Vlahovic, the fuck. So, it is what it is. Well, at the moment, brother, at the moment, Inter is better, right? Better than Juve at the moment because they've been winning. But if you want to talk about domination, it's Juve, brother. Juve has been dominating, in the past. Talking about, we dominated for a long time. I do. Parla italiano, sì. But this is more of an English channel. We do speak Italian sometimes on the Tutto Calcio show. Definitely want to be there for that if you are an Inter fan too, because I have Inter fans there. Other as well. Like Inter fans, Napoli fans, Milan fans. I have them all on that show too. So yeah. No, like what I'm saying. At the moment, for present, I'm saying that Inter, because they've been winning, are better than Juve at the current standpoint. But if we're going to talk about, it's Juve. It's Juve, bro. Bro, what's happened to Colomwani, man? What do you mean what's happened? I mean, listen, he didn't start. He wasn't even in the game. Conceição wasn't in the game. Leodis wasn't in the game. He came late in the second half. What's up, Francesco? My guy, Francesco. What's going on, brother? Big up to Harvey. What's up? What's up, bro? Even though last season you didn't lose to them. Yeah, that's the thing. We didn't even lose to Inter last season in one of our worst seasons, by the way. That goes to show, though. And, Inter bottled not one, not two, but 3 titles this season. When Juve went to the finals, we at least won 2 trophies. We won the Scudetto and we won the Coppa Italia. And we also won the Supercoppa too. So it's 3 domestically. Champions League, we're versing a Real Madrid that was unbelievable. We're talking about 3-peat Real Madrid. I think the club is still in the 24-25 seasons. Yeah, well, we'll see. Like I said, the market's not looking good for Juventus. We don't have that pull anymore. But of course, I want to back my team, obviously. I'm always going to back my team. Yeah. you guys played well, but I think I had an Inter fan on before, bro. You missed it. Go back and rewatch it, bro. Interesting. Definitely go follow his channel too if you haven't. Anthony from Inter Worldwide. Make sure to go check him out. He's an Inter fan. Respectful guy, bro. Respectful Inter fan, and like I said, going to be doing more shows with him as well. So definitely do that. AC Milan didn't score from open play, and that Super Cup game against you guys let the Milan derby over. Yeah, that's it. But that's the thing, But it is what it is. I mean, it is what it is, man. How do you feel about McKennie? Dog shit. He's dog shit, dude. That whole starting 11. I can name out the let's name out the 11. I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna search up the game, right? Now, and I'll read you out all the names. Okay. Hold on. Let's go here. Game day. Where was it? No. Juve. McKennie didn't never. Dude, he doesn't even deserve. I hope this fraud gets out of my club. But the thing is, we don't want to. We're selling him. We're selling him and Mbangula for 22 million. Is my club smoking something? My management, Juventus management, is terrible. Terrible. Absolute bogus. Okay, so I'm gonna read you guys out the lineup against City. Dusan Vlahovic. Shit. Coop miners. More like poop miners. Nico Gonzalez. More like you got to get the hell out. Kostic, you're still here? I thought you were like, a turkey or something, man. Like, what the hell are you doing? McKennie, what were you doing all game? Having a burger, having McDonald's or something, and then after that you went to Starbucks just to get freaking fatter? You freaking piece of shit. He's bum. Locatelli, I think, listen, he was the only guy that was trying his best. But at the same time, quality-wise, not there. Alberto Costa, you got absolutely cooked against Doku. Out of all players, Doku. Then we go to the back line, guys. Let's go to the back line, everybody. Lloyd Kelly. Every time I mention that freaking guy's name, I end up laughing, man. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but fuck. And Nico Silvana. He's injured, so it's bye-bye for him. Kalulu, you absolute fraud. Nice own goal. You helped Man City get their confidence back, basically. Absolute bum. Di Gregorio, that's the only player, and it's a goalkeeper that I'm not going to say really nothing about because, listen, at the end of the day, he's not like an Onana. He's a great goalkeeper. Bro, that guy never deserves playing time again. Screw that, man. I hate him, bro. He's annoying. And I didn't like the interview that they did. I get it, it's their opinion, but I didn't like it, bro. With Weah and McKennie, screw that shit. They should be thrown in the garbage. Should be thrown in the trash. Bums. Remember his red card against Panama? Bro, he's disgrace, bro. Disgrace. Weah. Fraud. Big up, brother. Says, not gonna lie though, you're the most respectful Juve fan I've seen. Because I'm logic, bro. I'm realistic here, man. I'm logic. But not just that, but I know how to, be humble. I'm not a fucking Arsenal fan, bro. Or I'm not that toxic Juve fan. Or I'm not that toxic. I'm not going to be that toxic fucking person. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of, speaking facts, I would speak facts. Okay? And you're an American, us saying this about, bro, there's nothing else to say about McKennie and Weah. You want to know how? Listen, McKennie. This is McKennie, guys. He starts off good, right? Every time he's doubted, he becomes the most versatile player, most needed. That's fine. But in terms of the keys that we need McKennie to really start shining, he's not it, bro. He is not it. Weah. his touch. Bro, every time he traps the ball, it's horrendous. It's horrendous. I'm like looking at this and I'm like, what the hell am I seeing? And then when Weah, every single time that Weah goes up from the wing, when he was actually playing with on the fullback position, or even the winger position, he tries to take a man on. He can never be his man. And I noticed that. I don't remember the last time Weah actually beat his man and scored a nice goal. Weah is not even consistent as a winger. And don't get me started with him playing striker at one point in the season. He was shit. Those two guys, man, I'm telling you, man, exactly worth a Parma level, 100%. But yeah, they are one of the reasons why the United States got grouped at home last year. The first country to do so in the home. Yeah, well, there you go. I don't know if the United States men's national fan base is going tough against those. Yeah, it is what it is, brother. You know, but we don't know, man. But guys, I will be ending the stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to, of course, shout out to Anthony Interworldwide. Make sure to go subscribe to him. He's a G. He's a G. Big up to him. And big up to everybody on the panel. I will be live most likely tomorrow. Dude, I stream like almost every single day, bro. It's crazy. But yeah, I'll probably be live tomorrow as well. There will be a news video of Jonathan David that'll be out tonight. I'm probably gonna go record right after. But this, guys, make sure to put Juve Corner Raid. We'll be raiding Coucho with Reno Zet, my guy Reno. Make sure to go and spam Juve Corner Raid in the chat. Make his day. And I'm out of here, guys. Peace. Ciao.
This is a Russ production.